everybody. Welcome to an episode of Cooking with the Frisbys. Obviously, this is not the Frisby kitchen. So, I wanted to film an episode today because I'm on the road. Cooking with the Frisbys and Little Acorn Farm is not what I do for my job. It's not the way I earn a living. Maybe one day it will be if you guys help out by clicking the subscribe button. But I earn a living in another way. And can't tell you what that is, but it keeps me on the road at times doing things. But I thought that today would be a good day to show you guys that even though you're out on the road, there is a way that you can still eat healthy. It just so happens that where I am right now, the hotel that I booked is it's a Residence Inn. And in Residence Inn, they always come equipped with a kitchen. So instead of me going out to a restaurant and cooking or going out to a restaurant and not cooking my food and eating something that I have no control with how they finish the food, what they do with the food, how much butter they use, how much salt that they use, I decided that I was going to go ahead and cook my dinner tonight. And the reason I did that was because I went out to a local place that I usually go to when I come to town here. And because of COVID, things aren't back to normal. And I found that the main restaurant wasn't open, so you had to go into the bar. And of course, we all know we've gone out there, those bar menus are pretty limited, and it's not very healthy. So I ended up eating the best thing that I could last night, but you know what? I'm gonna cook my own meal tonight, and I'm gonna show you what I'm getting ready to do. Stay tuned. Hey guys, so welcome back to Cooking with the Frisbys with Keith out on the road. So, as I said, I was out at a local store doing some store checks and some things that are part of my job, and I said, you know what, Keith, take advantage of the kitchen that you've got. It may take a little extra time. You're going to have to serve yourself. I don't have Beth helping me out, but let's go ahead and do some cooking. So while I was out in the store, and I guarantee you this doesn't cost as much as it costs to eat in a restaurant, I went out, got myself some asparagus. Now, that's the way they sell it. I probably can't eat all that, but it is what it is. Got myself a little bag salad. You know what? That's quick and easy. I don't have a lot of the utensils that I have here or that I have at home, so I've got to use what I got available to me. So I bought a bag salad, so that's going to make it a little bit easier. And then I stopped at my local seafood department and said, you know, let's eat healthy. So I stopped at my local Harris Teeter seafood department. I got myself a salmon fillet that he was just putting out, and I got myself some tasty shrimp that had already been prepared as well. Now, I know you're going to say, yeah, but you got to cook with something. So at the same time, there's some basic things that you can buy that don't cost a ton of money. Went out and got my favorite, which is adobo. You guys have seen me use that over in the international section. Just got myself some, garlic pepper seasoning. Just some basic black cracked pepper, which already has the grinder on the top. Just a little thing of olive oil. That was about $1.99. And then, of course, I had to get some something to go on my salad. So I like some zesty Italian. So we're going to go ahead, you guys, I'm going to start prepping this. Now, my kitchen is not very well equipped. And, I've got a frying pan. I've got a pot. I've got another pot. It's an electric stove that I'm not used to cooking with, but I'm going to go ahead and use what I've got because that's what I have to deal with. And I got myself some grapes too. So the point being, you can definitely eat healthy when you're out on the road. So I'll be back as soon as I start prepping. So guys, here we go. Let's get this started. And one of the basic things you know that you have to do whenever you start to cook stuff, I've got my salmon here. You've got to get that out and you've got to bring it to room temperature. Whether you're cooking it on the grill or whether you're cooking it inside on my electric stove tonight in a pan, you've got to get this up to room temperature. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to get this open. Put that down there. Let's start getting this up to room temperature. Woo, man. Yeah, it's a little cold, but look at that. That's just a nice piece of salmon right there. So I'm going to put that on the plate. I'm going to get that coming up to room temperature. I'm going to go ahead and kept my head off here as I move back and forth. I've got my shrimp here. Not necessarily need to bring these up to room temperature, but I am going to go ahead and put them on in the pan as well. So, got a couple of different kinds of shrimp here. I think one was a shrimp, and then one was kind of a little bit of a peppered shrimp. So, don't need that anymore. Sorry about the noise. So we're going to go ahead and just dispose of that. Trash is under the counter here. Put that in the trash. I've also got my asparagus over here. I don't know why they have this light like right there. This is not for taller people. And I'm not that tall. I'm only about 6 feet. I go ahead and they always say when you buy stuff at the store, you gotta go ahead and you gotta make sure you wash it off. One of the things that I always find that they have in a hotel, they always have a colander on hand, and that's a good thing. I use it to rinse my grapes off, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use it to rinse my asparagus off as well. I did go ahead and, they got paper towels on hand. I did go ahead and got myself some butter. So I got to get a stick of butter out of here. Now I am going to try and get this home. I'm about 4 hours away from home, but I'll put it somewhere cool that I think it might survive, or maybe I'll stop and just pick myself up a cheap styrofoam cooler, put some ice in it so I can get that home. And then I've even thought ahead for tomorrow. I don't eat a big breakfast in the morning, to be honest with you. A lot of times I'm fasting until 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. So again, trying to be prepared. I went through the produce department and got what I believe the ripest avocado that I could find. And one of the tricks I learned here, they say if you snap that little top off there, it gives you an indication of whether it's done or not. That's still a little bit on the white side, but you know what? It's not too firm, it's not too soft. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this out on the counter tonight. That should soften up and be ready for me in the morning. And one of the other things, I always have a boiled egg, but I didn't want to go buy a half dozen eggs and boil those. So I just bought myself a pepper. I'm going to slice that up. That gives me some good carbs in the morning for my drive home. So I'm going to go ahead, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead while I'm washing off my asparagus. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the pepper. So I'll be back as I start prepping this. You guys stay tuned. We'll be back. Okay, folks, so as you can see, boy, that's a lot of shrimp. Not sure I can eat all that. But anyway, portion control is something I guess you're going to have to learn when you're cooking in the hotel just for yourself. Beth always says, you don't know how to cook for anybody but a family. But I've got my shrimp here. I've got my salmon prepared. Again, you saw the seasonings that I put on there, a little olive oil, a little cracked pepper. Got my asparagus ready. You know, the good thing about when you have a lot of asparagus like that, you can just take the tips off of it. But I'm going to come over here and just show you, I don't have a lot to work with. First of all, I'm working with an electric stove. So what I've got here, you see, I've got my frying pan. That's going to be for my salmon. I've got a little bit of olive oil in there, a little pat of butter. The back one, I'm just going to use, those shrimp are already cooked. So I pulled just a tiny bit of olive oil in there. And I'm just going to use to warm those up at the last minute. And then the only other thing I've got here is a pot. And that's what I'm going to have to saute my asparagus in. But it's flat enough and it'll work. If I tried to do both the asparagus and the salmon in here, it's probably not going to work out. I'm going to end up in something's going to get cold. So I will be back most likely after I'm done. I may take a few shots, little videos while I'm cooking this up. But sitting here in my hotel room, you can see. And I'm getting ready to start some cooking. I'm going to let this salmon come up to temp a little bit. And since the shrimp's already cooked, well. So, hey, I'm going to go ahead and get this started in a few minutes. That salmon's still a little bit chilly, so I'm going to let it come up to room temperature. Got my stove and everything all set up. It's only about 6 o'clock. It's a little later than I'm used to, but hey, as long as I eat by 7:30, I'm pretty happy about that. So I'll come back, shoot a little bit more, and I'll show you what the finished product is. So you guys come on back. All right, let's get after this. Rinsing. very tight area over here. My goodness. I got the timer set over here. Now usually when I do this on the grill, I set the timer for about 4 minutes, 2 minutes, 4 minutes. Like I said, this is electric, so not really sure. Just trying to saute. Not going to put my asparagus on yet. Just trying to get this going right now. Got a top over here ready, so I need to do that. So let's just keep going. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put my asparagus in. Just going to put that in. I know it's sizzling in there right now, but I turned it down a little bit. And we're not trying to kill that. Just trying to saute a little bit. So I think I may put a little bit of the seasoning in here. A little adobo. That's cooking up nicely. We'll just wait it out. So hey guys, dinner's done. There is one lesson that I just learned. When you're cooking on a strange stove, always make sure you clean it off. It wasn't cleaned off all the way, so when I turned it on, it started smoking and it set the smoke detector off in the room. Oh my God, that's all I needed. Thank God I didn't do it in the whole hotel. They called me, I said, I don't know, somebody spilled something on the stove. He said, just keep the door closed and the windows don't open in here. So a little bit smoky, but no big deal. But what a delicious meal that we have tonight. Let me show you. So here it is. I've got my salmon. It's cooked well, cooked very well. Got my salad ready. I heated up my shrimp a little bit because I wanted them more warm. Big old plate of asparagus. If that doesn't help detoxify your system, I don't know what will. Didn't give myself any dessert because I'm just trying to eat healthy. I'm gonna get out my salad dressing, put a little salt and pepper on my salad. I'm gonna turn on the television and I'm gonna get ready to eat. So once again, guys, if you're out on the road, you can find ways of eating healthy, especially if you get a room that has a kitchen in it. Just take a little extra time, go to the store, pick yourself out something, come home, prep it, and you're all good to go. So I'm gonna eat myself a nice healthy meal. It's about 6:30. I'm hungry, I'm tired, it's been a long day, and I got a long drive home tomorrow. So once again, this is Cooking with the Frisby from the road. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.